Social science studies how people live and connect with each other. Humans are social by nature. From birth, we belong to families, then join larger groups and communities. These groups share spaces, resources, ideas, customs, and responsibilities. One person's actions can affect many others. Social science explores all these connections and the ways we organize our shared lives. Two experts define social science here. James High says it studies how physical and non-physical forces create social relations. Charles Beard calls it knowledge about people, unlike studying sticks, stones, or stars. Both agree social science is about human life and our connections with each other. Social science has 4 key features. It studies society in an organized, systematic way, using questions, evidence, and explanations instead of opinions. It explains how people live together, form groups, rules, and institutions. Finally, it examines fairness, responsibility, and social change. The scope of social science covers 2 main areas. First, it studies people and their relationships, like family life, community living, customs, religion, culture, roles, responsibilities, and behavior. Examples include family decisions, community festivals, how we use language, and social rules. Second, it looks at systems and institutions, the organized structures that shape society, such as government, law, courts, schools, police, markets, banks, and local bodies. Social science is a systematic study of human society and relationships. It focuses on individuals, society, institutions, and organizations. It draws ideas from history, geography, political science, and economics. Social science helps us understand society better and become responsible citizens who contribute to the nation. The scope of social science is broad. It studies human life and society. People live in communities, depend on nature, earn livelihoods, follow rules, and make collective decisions. No single subject explains everything, so social science combines many disciplines. At school, we learn geography, political science, history, and economics. These subjects overlap in real life, and connecting them helps us understand society, environment, economy, and governance better. Geography as a discipline studies Earth as the home of humans. It explains landforms, climate, rivers, soils, forests, resources, and how people use the environment. It shows human life is linked to physical conditions, like farming in dry versus wet regions, fishing along coasts, or tourism in mountains. Geography highlights challenges like floods, droughts, deforestation, pollution, and climate risks, and promotes sustainability by warning against careless resource use. History as a discipline is not just about dates or kings. It studies how society changes over time and shows how the present is shaped by the past. History explores people's lives in different periods, social and cultural developments, the rise and fall of institutions and ideas, major events and changes, and movements for freedom and justice. History shows how today's society developed over time. Our freedom struggle taught justice, equality, and rights, which shaped our Constitution. It explains the importance of democratic values and teaches respect for diversity in languages, religions, art, and lifestyles. Most importantly, it shows that diversity is our strength, not a weakness. Political science studies how societies are governed. It focuses on government, laws, rights, duties, and citizen participation. It explains why rules are needed, how laws are made and applied, how governments work at local, state, and national levels, the rights and duties of citizens, and how democracy functions. It connects to our daily life like roads, schools, hospitals, voting, and public issues. Political science builds awareness of rights, responsibilities, equality, and inclusivity. Economics as a discipline studies how people and societies manage resources. It explains that resources are limited, but our needs are unlimited. Economics also explains the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Finally, it shows how people earn a living. Economics examines many aspects of our daily lives. It studies work and employment, markets and prices, income and expenditure, how goods and services are produced, the challenges of poverty and development, and the role of government in the economy. Economics appears in daily life. Families plan spending based on income. Shopkeepers set prices by cost and demand. Farmers choose crops based on rainfall, soil, and market prices. Limited access to education, healthcare, or jobs can trap people in poverty. Fair opportunities are needed for a just society. Social science has great relevance in our lives. It helps us understand our own lives and the world around us. It connects what we learn in the classroom to our everyday experiences. It is especially relevant in 4 areas: society, environment, economy, and governance. Social science helps us understand society. It explains differences in groups and ways of living. It shows how we can build unity in diversity through different languages, religions, and customs. Social science also identifies challenges like discrimination, prejudice, and exclusion. Most importantly, it promotes inclusivity by ensuring equal participation in schools and access to water and sanitation for everyone. Social science studies the connection between humans and the environment. Humans depend on land, rivers, forests, and energy. It examines how human activities affect the environment and how the environment affects us. For example, cutting forests leads to soil erosion, less rainfall, and loss of wildlife, while pollution harms our health and farming. Social science encourages sustainability by teaching us to think about long-term effects. Social science helps us understand the economy. Families make daily economic choices like earning, spending, and saving. It explains decisions at family and society levels. For example, city jobs lead to migration, causing growth but pressure on housing, water, and transport. Economic decisions affect society and environment. True development means better education, health, safety, and dignity for everyone, not just income. Benefits must reach all for true equity. Social science helps us understand governance. It affects our daily life through schools, hospitals, roads, law, and welfare. Citizens can raise issues through local bodies and representatives. Democracy is not just about elections, but also participation, awareness, and accountability. Governance must ensure equality and justice for all.